I put your picture on my.
I told y'all. Mr. Brightside, take a step to the side is Fantasia when I see you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, if you got beef with someone, I mean, you guys have to understand, I did it on purpose, right? When you got beef with someone, you usually say, yo, when it's on site and when I see you. You know what I mean? When someone says, yo, when I see you next time I see you, it's going to be the business. So we have to put that energy towards you know who. That's coming up this week. You guys know what time it is, man. Folks, welcome to another edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by you know who, the Buffalo Fanatics. Welcome. Tune in, smash that like. If you guys have tuned in for the very first time, you guys don't know who I am. My name is Rico. We're going to get right into it. I got a special guest with me tonight, my guy, Carl Jones, the Carl Jones. You don't want to, there ain't no duplicate. There's a lot of pretenders out there, but there's only one Carl Jones that comes through in the clutch. That's my guy, Carl Jones. What's good, bro?
I'm glad to be back, man. How you doing?
Glad to be back. Listen, this Nick, man, this guy, I have beef with you, bro. This Unk business. Unk is for 55 and above. All right? 60 even. 50. Listen, man, I ain't there yet, bro. This guy called me Unk. Like, what's the category for Unk? When does one fall into the Unk category? Is it an age thing or is it a swag thing? Like, what is it?
I low-key think it's a swag thing. You feel me? Like the way you kind of carry yourself. You feel me? Your aura. If it's that really that Unk energy, yeah, you feel me? You can be Unk for sure.
Really? Yeah, because I when you see Unk, man, you talking about, you know what I mean? That's an old cat. That's an old school cat that's got some
well, for me, it's like Unk and then OG. Like Unk mean you the step below OG. Like you ain't quite OG yet, but you Unk. Like it makes sense in my head, and that's all that matters.
Well, maybe I don't know if Nick is trying to call me, you know, I mean, Unk before the OG, but who knows, man? Maybe it's a term of endearment. We'll take it. I take it, but I don't want to hear no Unk like he old man Unk. Hey, I ain't there yet, bro. I ain't there yet. But anyway, let's get into it. What's good, fam? What's good, everybody, man? I got my guy Carl Jones in the building, and before he said, "Nah, Shannon's Unk, man." That's what I'm talking about. Shannon, 56 years old, man. That's Unk for you. You know what I mean? Smoking that black and mild, all that stuff. That's not me. We got David DeVideo. What's up, Matthew? Matthew says, yo, hey, Rico, had to get 5 tooth fillings. My mouth is no longer numb, so I'm happy to got the last big thing behind me. Golly, you got 5 tooth fillings? Golly, bro, stay off the Mountain Dew, bro. Stay off the Mountain Dew. All right, let me get my act together, man. Let's get this thing going, man. Appreciate you guys all tuned in. Let's get right into it, man. Injuries. Right off the rip. After hearing Coach McDermott today telling me we ain't going to get Keon Coleman, we knew that was going to be the case. Right off the rip, we knew that was going to be the case. It's not looking good, and you're my insider, so you'll kind of give me the body language that you're getting and a vibe around the house. You know what I mean? A vibe around the crib. Kincaid, Cooper, and my guy Keon Coleman. In your opinion, from what you see, from what you've been hearing, from the vibes that you're getting around the locker room, are those guys going to be ready for this week?
Well, obviously, start with Keon, get him out the way. Obviously, McDermott said that would be the case. Yep. I think Keon was always going to be an after the bye week type of thing, just based off with his wrist injury. With Cooper, it was a good development to see him catch off the jug machine today. I know over the past 2 weeks, us media at practices have been shooting him catching passes, but none of those have been from Josh. Those have all been catch throws from the wide receiver coach and some of the assistant coaches. Obviously, they're not throwing as hard as Josh Allen would. Mm-hmm. So I think him catching the jug machines is a good development. And then tomorrow when I'm at practice, if he is running routes and then catching passes from Josh, I think that will bode well for his availability on Sunday. Considering Cooper told us last week, it's just a pain tolerance thing. It's not anything structural. So I think for Cooper, I'm going to cop out and say, check my X feed tomorrow around noon, and you'll have a good idea if he's going to play.
Gotcha.
And then Kincaid, they said that he's going to be more of it. They're going to have a better answer on him throughout the week. He didn't practice today, although it was just a walkthrough, so it wasn't like he missed anything on the field per se. But he was listed as a non-participant if they did practice. So we will once again get another answer on him tomorrow. But between him and Cooper, I will lean on him probably missing the game. against the Chiefs.
I agree. And I mean, listen, they had the line, and I'm gonna reset the line to see if there's anything that's changed. They had the line at 2.5 for Buffalo. The spread was 2.5. I'm about to refresh this page to see if it's the same energy. I don't know if it's the same energy, if Vegas have changed their mind, knowing that these boys, it's done. It went from 2.5 down to 2. Now, we see some differences. By the way, we got my man Jeff King show him some love. He says, "Gentlemen, always a pleasure to watch both of you. Would love to win this weekend, but really couldn't give a damn. It's the playoffs when I want them to beat KC's ass." And he's not wrong. He is not wrong. I mean, the city of Buffalo, they know pain all too well when it comes to Kansas City. They know pain all too well even watching other teams lose, to Kansas City. You got the Denver Broncos that had them right on the doorstep of a loss, and special teams comes through and absolutely does a phenomenal job on absolutely whooping number 54's butt. 54 must have got a chewing in that film room. I feel it. Oh, it's tough. It is tough. But anyway, so knowing those two players potentially could be out. So we know Keon's out, Kincaid's out. Confidence level around the locker room, has it wavered? Does it just feel the same? Although today was a walkthrough, the spirits are still high, or did you kind of sense a bit of a dullness in a practice and in the locker room at all?
So today I was off, but tomorrow I'll be at the facility.
Okay, so you have a better idea tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, but having said that, though, obviously I talked with all of my peers and in the media space, and it kind of just looked like a regular day at the office in terms of,
I figured
it's another team on the schedule, and it was a walkthrough, so the energy is just going to be different in general. The guys didn't finish a practice, But I mean, if you looked at what Josh said after practice, he kind of said like, "Hey, this is just another week." But he did mention the fact that, hey, this is a team we need to get over the hump in the postseason per se, not necessarily on November whenever they play 17th or whatever it is.
Right.
So I say all that to say, yes, they obviously have a ton of respect for KC, and they're going to treat this matchup with the respect that it deserves. But I think everyone in that locker room has understanding that this game is just a win or a loss. It isn't season defining.
It's not season defining. And I'll tell you this, man. I've been on this. I'm on this weird tip. If you ask me from 6 weeks ago up until this week, I would have said, do not care about this game, whether we win or lose this game. I don't care. But then at the end of the day, too, it's Kansas City. And a win like this over Kansas City always bodes well near the end of the season to see who can battle for that number one spot, right? Right now, the Ravens seem to be out for that number one seed because of the losses they've taken. The Bills right now are neck and neck with the Chiefs. Obviously, 2 losses could be them down to 3 losses as opposed to the undefeated Chiefs. Who knows how that's going to play out? But I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'll be real. I don't feel good about us going into this game based on the fact that we're not at full capacity, especially in one department, the receiver position. Khalil, cool, right? I have my obviously I shared my thoughts on Khalil Shakir. I feel like he should be and could be more for the Bills, but it's like he's been relegated to just a certain type of receiver, which is disheartening for me because I see guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm looking for like other slot type receivers that are flourishing around the league. And I put that on Joe. Joe's got to unleash Khalil. And I feel that he's unleashing him through these screenplays and so on and so forth. I feel like we need more from him. That's just my opinion. But Keon, Amari potentially not playing, and Kincaid. It leaves you with Khalil, Dawson Knox, no slouch, obviously, but Khalil, Dawson Knox, Jalen Virgil, Curtis Samuel, Tyrell Shavers. I mean, you when I mention those names, are you, as Kansas City defense, are you kind of like, ooh, or are you're not scared of that, man? I know 17's back there, but like, we're not scared of that. So what as an offense, as if you're Josh, how do you keep this team motivated? Be like, nah, man, I don't care. One of y'all got to step up. Like, we don't got Mike Tomlin on this team that's good with motivating these boys. So how do you deal with this, man? How do you deal with that? If you're Coach McDermott, how do you get these boys ready to get up for this game, knowing that your top key contributors in the offensive receiver room aren't there.
Or I think if this isn't what some of the McDermott would say, but like me speaking to Bills Mafia here for a second,
let's go.
The Chiefs are banged up in their own right. I mean, they're down 4 receivers: Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown. They will get Juju back, so I guess that's 3, and then also Sky Moore. So this isn't like some pity party that the Bills are down. They're down their starting running back. They're down their starting defensive end. They're down their starting cornerback. So like, this isn't some, oh, the Bills are injured, woe is me, like we're the only team that deals with this.
Right.
I mean, everyone says, oh, the Chiefs offense is bad. First off, it's good, but it's not as explosive as it used to be. Duh. Well, yeah, half of the reason is they've been rolling out, no disrespect to these NFL players, but they've been rolling out a less than stellar unit for half of the year. So, I mean, to Bills Mafia, who's worried about that, the team you're going up against Sunday is dealing with the same thing. Let the ball, let's go out there, roll the ball out, and let's play. I will say, which is maybe not conducive for this matchup, but we'll find out Sunday.
Right.
I think the way to attack the Chiefs is through the air, because they are such a stout unit. Defending the rock.
Defending the rock, they are.
I mean, they have some versatile guys up front. Obviously, y'all know who Leo Chenal is after he blocked the kick last week, but that man lines up at D tackle, linebacker, and edge. He's just a very a nice chess piece that Steve Spagnuolo likes to use, and there's a bunch of other players up front that they like and utilize. So I think, it sucks that, Arrowhead Nation, what's up, my man? But it sucks that you may not have your full complementary of weapons. But that's the league, man. Like, it truly is. Like, respectfully, no one has said anything about how Patrick Mahomes is struggling this year. And my man had Justin Watson and Xavier Worthy for half of the damn year.
Right.
So that's all. I just want, and listen, I'm not in the locker room. It's not like McDermott will say that. But like, speaking to the fan base here, hey, man, it is what it is. The Chiefs dealing with the same stuff. Roll the ball up.
Straight up. that's straight up, and you're not lying. And this is why I'm glad you said it, because this is what I got myself worked up last night by saying the same thing you were saying. Listen, they're just as banged up as we are. We can sit here and talk about XYZ not being present. Listen, they don't have the top flight receivers. Now, they did pick up D-Hop now. I mean, so we can't sleep on
that
D-Hop.
Helps out a lot, yes.
It helps out tremendously. But they're just as banged up as we are, right? They're outside tackles. Not the greatest, but they do the job. Interior, fantastic. Pacheco being gone, he does get a chance to return. Whether it's going to be this game or not, we'll find out soon enough. So they're getting healthier, but they were just as banged up as we were. So it's going to come down to, at the end of the day, I mean, defensively, we're healthy. So it's going to come down to, can we affect the Chiefs' offense enough, and vice versa? We're banged up both sides. So it's just about to find out who can execute at the greatest level. And I think that's where we stand at this point. So we'll see how it comes down to. So now here's my question to you, good sir. My man said Pacheco is out. I know he might be out. They just said that he's
unlikely.
I think his window is open for him to start practicing. Whether he plays, unlikely to happen, but he will start to return very shortly. Now, advantages and disadvantages, sir. And we're not going to go too deep into this, but like, what would you say? We'll two advantages for the Bills and 2 disadvantages that the Bills have going into this game. What off the rip? And you're not doing deep analysis here, but just from what you've seen from the Bills, what you've seen from the Kansas City Chiefs, where you know what we're going through, what would you say the advantage for the Bills to take this W at home against the Chiefs, and what are the disadvantages that you find?
I'm gonna give you one on each side right off the rip, and they're the same units going up against each other.
Right.
I believe that the edges for the Bills, Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, have a huge advantage over Jawan Taylor and whoever the Chiefs left tackle is. I know Wanya Morris left the game last week with a knee injury. They brought in their second-round pick, Kingsley Suamataia, or Tia, however you say his last name, the kid from BYU. But he's been struggling this year. And I think that when the Bills have seen a lot of backup tackles. I mean, they just have. Last week against the Colts, they've seen a lot this year, and they've taken advantage of the fact that the teams haven't been at full strength. And this is another example for that. Maybe they can do that as well. So I think that if there is a unit on the Chiefs offense that is subpar, it would definitely be the tackles. And I think it's a situation where the Bills can take advantage of. And then on the inverse, a disadvantage, the Chiefs' interior 3 is the best in football, full stop. The Bills' interior, the defensive tackles, haven't been great this year. So it's going to be interesting to see, I guess, does the Chiefs' interior dominate this game, or does Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, Jordan Phillips, and Quentin Jefferson step up to the point where they can kind of, I don't want to say play it even, but not just get ran over to the fact where it's a glaring weakness.
And I'm gonna stick to our defensive ends. Hopefully, have a day, because that's what's gonna have to take place. Because right now, the interior line of that with Humphreys, Tooney, and somebody gave me the name yesterday, and I'm missing it. Sorry,
Trey Smith.
That's it. Trey Smith. Those guys have been holding it down. Now, some folks might say, "Hey, with the help some referees," I don't want to hear all that, right? They've been holding it down for their boy. They've been holding it down and not allow people to get through to them. So you got to give them some credit. But I'm going to hold on to the fact that we have that advantage on the outside, and I hope that we fully take full advantage with Vaughn, with Greg, with a little bit of AJ Epinesa. We Quentin Jefferson getting in there because he can play inside and out. I'm hoping that we can get something done when it comes to that point then and there. All right. Knowing what you know, and if you're going to pick a spotlight hero, if you will, I like to use the spotlight hero point. A spotlight hero going into this upcoming game, defense or offense. If somebody's going to step up, and I want it to be, who would you like it to be? I don't know. I don't want you to say, who do you think is going to be? Who would you like it to be that is that spotlight hero, that this guy is who's going to be the difference in the Bills winning this game?
I'm going to go right back to the well here. I think it probably will be Gregory Rousseau. I genuinely think that a player who, I'm not going to say is billed as, because no one thinks he's like some elite edge rusher, right?
Got it.
Or at least not in that top 5 group that we all know over the past few years or so. But if he is that guy who's in that next bucket, this is a matchup that you should comfortably take advantage of for 60 minutes. I mean, for those who may not have watched the Chiefs this year ad nauseum, remember Trey Hendrickson, what he did to both of the Chiefs tackles, quite frankly, especially the Chiefs left tackle, the Bengals defensive end, for those at home who don't know. They were in hell. Trey Hendrickson was in the Chiefs backfield every snap, every single one. And there's a bunch of other examples like that. The Broncos defense is probably the best in football, and they were doing the same thing with just edge pressure. So I don't want to put the Bills at that standard. But having said that, though, if Gregory Rousseau is the guy who is this really good pass rusher who's going to command $25 million a year, and the type of guy that you need in the postseason, because not to go off on a tangent really fast.
Go ahead.
But I don't know if I've said it on this program before or another. I think there are 3 components that you need to be a Super Bowl contender. And if you don't have these 3, you're not in my bucket. You either need an elite quarterback or an elite play caller. Check, the Bills got the quarterback. You need good playmakers. I think the Bills just meet the threshold for that on offense.
Okay.
And then my last one is, you need a dude who can get after the pass rusher, full stop. If you don't have those 3 components, I don't think you can be a contender in my eyes. Because the pass rusher is the one person that you don't need to scheme. There is no help for that shit. Excuse me. You just go win.
That's it.
And if Gregory Rousseau is that type of player, and if he can parlay this performance into something greater the rest of the year and then the postseason as well, I think that'll go a long way to the Bills comfortably being in that bucket.
I'm glad that you, and listen, don't you ever apologize for, dropping a little something there. You know what I mean? You speak with some passion. You know what I mean? You're on the Rico Report. You can go ahead there. I used to cuss like a sailor back in the way. I used to cuss like a mother, and then I had to chill. I said, I'm trying to be a better Christian man. I gotta curb myself on certain things. But sometimes you gotta let that out, man. Anyway, I'm so glad you mentioned the 3 things that you need to be a contender. You said quarterback, playmaker, coach or play caller, and that defensive pass rusher that's just relentless. I don't know what I was watching today, but somebody mentioned 3 things that you need if you want to be a contender to win a Super Bowl. You need these 3 things. These 3 things, excuse me. You need a defense. Number 1, you need a damn defense. Can your team keep the other team from, doing what they want to do? Not consistent, like consistently, not always. You're always going to have some blemishes here and there, but you need a defense, right? Next thing you need is a coach. And I'm going to come back to you on that one just a moment, right? A coach. And the next thing, obviously, is you need a QB. He says, if you got yourself a quarterback, you got yourself a competent head coach, and you got yourself a defense, you got it. You're ready to go. So then I look at the Ravens. I said, Ravens got themselves a quarterback. They got themselves a coach with Harbaugh. Defensively, they're not playing well, but the record says that they're a decent team and they're ready to roll. All right. So then I like, okay, so let me go to Kansas City. Kansas City's got the coach, the defense, and the quarterback. You know it. The Bills. I would like to say the Bills got the coach, the quarterback, and the defense. Would you agree?
I would say on that standard, yeah, they definitely have all three.
Because then I'm like, then I started questioning if I want to be critical, and I want to be critical to all those three things. Which of those three things would I call out? And I'm going to put you on the spot. So based on the Bills, coach, quarterback, defense, if you're going to call one of them out, be like, I don't know, but that's the one that I would question the most. Which is it that you're questioning the most of the three?
Defense.
Defense for sure.
Comfortably for me, because I think Bills fans can attest to this. Every postseason in the Sean McDermott era, they've been high in all the regular season statistics, and it's not like it's been fluke for 17 games the past 6 or 7 years. They have been a great unit. It's just that in the postseason, when you go up against quarterbacks who A, are good, and then B, may not flinch under pressure, you need dudes at some point to just go and win. And unfortunately for them, they just haven't had the guys up front to affect the quarterback down in and down out. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I'm sure you guys have seen it on the internet or X or whatever. I don't know if the Bills have sacked Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes in the 4 playoff games more than one time combined. Like, you just,
that's gross.
So that's why I'm just like, if there's one thing where I can pause it a little bit, it would be the pass rush. I mean, it would just be the defense, because I think the pass rush is better this year, but we'll have a better idea after these next 4 games.
I can't agree anymore. I actually like what you came up with right there. So we're gonna see. I mean, listen, there's some time. We got tomorrow to find out what's really good with who's gonna be available, who's not. So I'll be around noon, 1-ish. So we pay attention to your feed.
Give me 10 seconds here. I got the Bills media thing right here.
All right.
Because they emailed us today about the pressers tomorrow. Bills media schedule Thursday. Practice will be at 12:30. About 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Are you gonna get in there and be like, Coach McDermott, Carl Jones, Buffalo News 4?
Nah, he don't speak tomorrow. He spoke today and Friday.
I'm waiting because I always listen. I'm listening for Carl Jones here, and I'm like, my man, I'm waiting for that.
I usually try to talk to the players more, and not just like I'm too cool for McDermott, but like for the players, I'm trying to like build relationships where they can give me better stuff as I continue to talk with them.
Listen,
McDermott is a I don't want to call him a politician in a bad way, but my man is in control of a lot of stuff over at One Bills Drive. He can't give you all the juicy stuff that he could if he was a little lower on the ladder.
That's facts. You know what I mean? Listen, we got a couple people in the building that, you know what I mean, I could reach out to. So I'm gonna say, yo, man, hey, D-Doc, quit playing, man. Give my guy the juice. Give him the juice, man. With Carl Jones, when he comes to him, he asks you a question, you give him what he needs to know. We'll try to make that work. We'll try to make it work. All right, bet. Listen, you ready for your top 10, bro?
I've been ready. Stay ready.
We ready for the top 10? We got to get into the top 10, folks. There's been some shakeups. There's been some shakeups in the top 10 for sure. I struggle with a couple in the bottom, but I think that we'll find a spot for each team. So let me get my banner ready so we can get our top 10 on, and we get it cracking. Let me see. There we go. Are you ready, Mr. Carl Jones? Here we go. Hold on. Let me just make sure I got my numbers here because I don't want to screw this up, right? I just want to make sure, do I got who I need? Yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, I got to put these. Yeah, I just got to. All right, you ready, bro? Here we go.
I'm ready.
Top 10. Here we go. Let's get this thing rolling. And I'll let you start, sir, with your list. Let's see
For
what
m-
you roll with.
Yeah, for me, this was tough, and I struggled with this 10th team up until literally about 30 seconds ago. But I'm going to give this team their flowers.
Yo, same.
I'm going to put the Arizona Cardinals for my 10th team. I think that they've played well over the past month or so. Like, this isn't the same team that the Bills played week 1. Quite frankly, this isn't the same team it was October 1st, but
Facts.
they took down the Chargers, who is going to be a playoff team in the AFC. They beat the piss out of the Bears and made Caleb Williams' life hell. And then I know the Jets haven't looked good, but you do when you're a good team, you do what you're supposed to do, and that's what they did to the Jets.
Absolutely
so
right.
I had the Packers there at first, but I was like, nah, like the Cardinals have looked too good over the last month, so put them at 10 for me.
You know what? I that's like you said, the last 30 seconds, it was who do I put the 10th spot? So it was either Cardinals or the Chargers. I kind of like what the Chargers doing right now. They've built themselves up to a 6-3 record right now. They're home, they're 3-1 at home. You got to give them some love for that 3-1 at home right now. And they're doing a solid job, man. They're plus 68 in differential. Give them some love, and they're on a 3-game win streak. So you got to give them some love. And by the way, my man Carl Jones says, yo, Rico Carl, as always, thank you for the content. Yo, Jeff King, appreciate you, bro. We're gonna keep up. We haven't had our powwows in a minute, so I'm gonna call in and catch up with you, brother. Yeah, man, I like the Cardinals, man. Cardinals, I like that at that position. I got myself at the Chargers at number 10. Chargers seem to be they're doing the hardball, right? Run the ball, play some good defense, because defensively they got much better than when they had old soft coach from before. I can't remember his name, but anyway. And now you got my man Justin. I was supposed to say Justin Fields. Justin Herbert is coming into his own a little bit, right? So he's starting to get going. Wait till you give him some way more weapons on that offensive side of the ball. Chargers will be something next year. This year they're just keeping it together and they're doing well, man. I can't wait to see these boys go up against KC soon, because I think they have. Oh, did they play KC twice already?
No, only played them once.
Only played once, right? So they got one more shot to try to take them down, which I'm looking forward to. That's gonna be the second to. Oh yeah, they're gonna play them soon, in a few weeks from now. So I got the Chargers at 10. Who you got at 9?
I got the Chargers for all the reasons that you alluded to.
I'll
just say, Bills fans, that's a team where maybe not. I know for a fact not this year, but in 2025. If they get some weapons up in there, that's a team that can make some serious noise in the AFC.
I like that. Chargers at 9. I got the Vikes at 8. The Vikings at 8. Quite simple. I mean, these boys defensively, Flores got them going. Those boys going. Offensively, they've had some struggles. I mean, my man throwing 3 picks. Jacksonville, you should be able to take care of Jacksonville with ease. And that was a snooze fest of 12-7. And you don't even have Trevor Lawrence as your quarterback. You had freaking Macaroni Jones at quarterback, man. Mac Jones? Who? Exactly. Mac Jones, man. So the fact of the matter is this, I got to give the Vikes some love. I'm going to put them at, and I feel they're a little high. But that's where, excuse me, we're at 9, right? I want to mess this up.
Yeah, you're at 9. Yeah, you're on that.
I'm at 9. I got Green Bay. I got Green Bay. Green Bay is iffy for me because I don't know how healthy. Listen, they're saying he's regressing in Jordan Love. He's regressing. He's not doing well. I mean, he's also dealing with some knee injuries. He's trying to get his act back together. Green Bay is always going to be tough, especially when you go to Lambeau in the cold. This is where they're going to come on here. Last year, they started off shaky, and in the later months, they started to rip into people. So I think this is where they're going to start to kind of get a little healthy, get a little stronger. Green Bay, 9. Who you got?
For number 8 for me is going to be the Washington Commanders. Once again, a great story this year. They got the Rookie of the Year in Jaden Daniels. I know that they have coming off the loss to the Steelers, and that's nothing to be ashamed of, but you had a 10-point lead in that game, and you never want to squander those situations. Having said that, you assume they get Marshawn Lattimore back here soon. I know he's dealing with the hamstring, but, I mean, they're definitely the surprise of the league for sure this year.
Are you in on Marshawn Lattimore? I know I'm reading some articles from Saints fans. You could have him. He was washed up. I don't know, man. Marshawn he still can play. He's still locked in.
Listen, Marshawn is from Cleveland. All right. Hey. That boy is from the land. So I will never disrespect somebody that from the same grounds I'm from. All right. So
I got you.
Marshawn went to high school probably like 10, 15 minutes away from where I went to high school.
All right. So he was nice like that.
Oh, he was the
He was that dude.
Best I've ever played, but he was like that, yeah, for sure.
He was like that. He's one of them ones, right?
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So you got Washington at 8. This is where I have the Vikes. I have the Vikes at 8. I probably would have switched the Vikes and Green Bay, but I mean, either or, it's what it is. And it's kind of alludes to what I was saying, man. You got to take care of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You got it. With Mac Jones, you got to take care of them. But I still believe in that team. I still believe in Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, TJ Hawkinson when he's 100%. That O-line is still solid. And that defense, I still believe in that defense. So I got the Vikes at 8. 7, who do you got?
I got the Vikings. They're a team that, for all the reasons that you just said, the defense is still balling without like some elite players. Danielle Hunter is great, obviously, and Harrison Smith is still doing some things, but it's not like they have a TJ Watt, a Myles Garrett, or anybody like that. So as long as Sam Darnold doesn't do what he did last week, they're always going to be a tough out. But yeah, I got them at 7 because I think for me personally, I have a 6 that I don't think they're quite in that tier right now.
I got you. By the way, 716 Truth is calling you out.
Yes, I am a homer. Not yeah. like listen, us Cleveland boys, we stick with each other. It's all love. And Marshawn been that boy since he was 13, 14 years old. So
I got you. So I'm gonna
give him his flowers.
Are you gonna stand on business with Bronny James?
He ain't from Cleveland. That boy was born in Akron.
You're not claiming him?
No, that boy was. Listen. I'll rep Bron. Like I don't even know if Bronny was born here, but regardless, I'll rock with the James family through and through, man. I'm biased. Y'all, like, come on, man. It's all Cleveland through and through with me, man. I'm rocking with Bronny.
We don't claim him. All right, bet. Here we go. So you got the Vikes at 7. So I got the Commanders at 7.
Okay.
Commander at 7. Jaden Daniels, toe-to-toe with Pittsburgh. Went toe-to-toe with Pittsburgh, and it came down to some controversy. Did Zach Ertz catch? I think it was Zach Ertz. Did Zach Ertz catch that? Was he above the line? Personally, I don't think he even made it to that line, so I think the refs called it properly. I don't think he was there. Some people want to take a still shot and say, see, he was here. He made it. I don't think he got it when it comes to the naked eye of watching it play right there. I thought he was short. But I really do feel that Philly, I mean, sometimes you got to we're about to find out what you guys are made of when you play Pittsburgh Steelers. Yo, Jaden Daniels, he didn't have the best statistical game, but he kept his boys in it. That's what you want from the rookie going against Mike Tomlin-led defense, and you were able to stay composed and do all that. Yo, give me my Commanders at 7. I gotta show them some love, man. Give me the Commanders at 7.
For me at 6, I'm gonna roll with Philly. They're honestly looking like a team that, so the younger people in the chat, they'll understand this. Philly is one of the best teams in Madden, because they got 8 players who are top 5 in their positions, and that's really all you need in Madden. That's facts. They truly do, and now they're playing like it. This is my time where I get to talk about defensive backs for a second. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. I mean, god damn! Shout out to them. I mean, I know that the Eagles sometimes get too much love for some of the moves that they make because they like big names or whatever. Like the Jahan Dotson thing, they got a lot of love for, but that is obviously not worked out. But listen, Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback from Toledo, first-round pick, balling. Cooper DeJean, listen, I know his skin complexion may not be mine, but he's still locking boys up on the perimeter.
He nice.
He nice. And I know people, he went to Iowa. What they be doing out there? Listen, I'm from the Midwest, so I'm gonna rep my Midwest boys. I'm claiming everybody, I guess, today. Shout out to Cooper DeJean, he balling. But truthfully, though, I think the Eagles, if you would have told me back in September when they were struggling through some things, I would have been like, I don't know if they make it here. They've turned the corner, and especially defensively, that's not a team that's to be messed with right now.
Listen, Eagles, I'm looking at their roster right now, bro. Cooper DeJean right now, he's got 19 total tackles. He's sitting here with 2 tackles for loss. He ain't got no picks this year yet, but he's got 3 batted balls down. Bro, this guy, he's going to be a nice one. He's going to be nice. Listen, Quinyon Mitchell's is that dude. 8 pass breakups right now. He's sitting with 30 tackles altogether. yo, the fact that they got these two boys in the same freaking draft is unbelievable. Zach Bond is lights out. That boy, they've got it. Nakobe Dean coming through. Listen, man. Listen, and Slay's always gonna be nice. He's always gonna be one of your best corners that are out there. So, bro, listen, I like Jordan Davis. They got some boys out there, man. So shout out to these guys, and I'm with you. I got Philly at 6. But here's what I love about Philly. I know you went on the defensive side of the ball. I'm gonna go to the offensive side of the ball. Saquon freaking Barkley, bro. Saquon Barkley, right now, he's just shy of 1,000 yards rushing. Right, he's got 6 touchdowns right now. He's averaging 110 yards rushing this year, bro. He's on one. Why the Giants had to disrespect that brother the way they did, and now they're paying for it. They're paying for it. Although they have a really good running back right now over there in New York. I mean, Devin Singletary is nice, but Tracy took over. Tracy's nice like that, right? But Saquon, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, like they got something. So Philly is on. They're 7-2 right now. They're on a 5-game rip. They're firmly at number 6 and could be climbing. So I think I'm with you where we are. I think we might be on the same page going forward, but let's go. Your number 5 team.
I was struggling with this one a little bit, but I'm gonna put Pittsburgh here. I'm gonna put them at 5.
Very interesting. All right.
But truthfully, this is gonna change Sunday depending on who wins between the Ravens and Steelers.
Yep.
Yet Sunday, was their first. Oh damn. Okay, y'all, because it's the NFL, but they haven't really played a murderer's row schedule. They just to this point they really haven't. Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback they've seen this year, in my opinion. And they passed that test clearly. Russell Wilson has taken that offense to heights that they haven't seen probably since COVID, Big Ben, and even that's maybe. And even the COVID year, they were an offense that wasn't great because there was a lot of dink and dumping, remember? So I think that's the type of stuff. And obviously, they're always going to be competitive on defense under Mike Tomlin. I'm from Cleveland, and I know I'm not supposed to show my biases in terms of teams because of my job. But from Cleveland, obviously, I'm not supposed to be too fond of Pittsburgh. They objectively look like a good team this year, and I think that Russell Wilson has them in a tax bracket that they haven't been in probably like 5 years.
I like Pitt, but I don't like them at number 5. I have the Ravens at number 5. Ravens, they just look like a team that ain't nobody stopping them, right? And right now, it really is looking like that. This week's matchup I can't wait to see this matchup between these two dogs. Right now, you got Patrick Queen talking his game. You know what I mean? You got Deshaun Elliott talking his game right now. They're talking a lot of game. He was on a podcast and he said, yo, I was on a team that was soft as F. And he was talking with the Miami Dolphins. He's like, yo, it's good to go on a squad where everybody's got locked in mentality. And you got the Ravens. That game is going to be something else. And I'm looking forward to seeing Lamar Jackson do his thing, but I really looking forward to seeing if Russell Wilson can channel his young days Russell Wilson, knowing that this is a huge rivalry. It's a massive rivalry, and you got to come with it. You can't be soft, Russ. You got to come in and be Russell from Seahawk days where he was talking that ish, like you knew what he was doing. So you love to see it. The addition of Mike Williams on Pitt, you got to love it. But Ravens, I got the Ravens right now at the 5 spot. Lamar Jackson's just playing lights out right now. He's just that dude. He's locked in. He's all the way locked in. Nobody can tell him anything right now. He is right now the leader at that MVP. I don't think he's running away with it. I still think it's real close. But I got him leading this team, and they're just killing it. You got Derrick Henry. You got Zay Flowers. Bro, it's a good squad. Defensively, that's why I have them at 5, because right now, bro, you got to be better defensively. You have to be. And this is the worst part. You went and signed Trey White. I mean, listen, I like Trey. I do. I think we all do. He's not from Cleveland, so I'm not going to give you that. But I like Trey. And you went and signed Trey. I don't know how much Trey's going to be able to give you. You got Stevenson, I think it's Stevens at the rookie at corner. You got Marlon on the other side. Where does Trey fit in? But defensive, you got to be better. And right now, Roquan Smith was talking that talk when he was, they were comparing him to Ray Lewis and this, that, and the third. Queen's gone now. you're not looking so tough now these days. I'm saying so. Maybe Queen was that dude. But anyway, I like Ravens. I got them at 5. You got the Pitt at 5. So I'm assuming you got Pitt. You got Ravens at 4.
Yeah, I got them at 4. It pained me to put them up here because I love defense.
I got you.
I think what they got going on offense, off the top of my head, I think them and the Lions are the 2 best offenses in the sport for obviously similar but different reasons. It's just the tandem of Lamar and Derrick Henry is just another Madden reference. That's some, what they kind of feel like at times, truthfully, is when you play Madden and you say, I'm going to put the sliders on like rookie and then put everyone else's speed down to like 70.
Right.
Just like let them rock out. They're phenomenal on that side of the ball. And then defensively, it's weird. I know they lost their defensive coordinator, who is now the head coach for Seattle, and they've lost a bunch of other coaches on that side of the ball. But it seems like they're just not clicking in terms of just like assignments, which is something that can be rectified. I just don't know if it can be rectified this late in the year because on the back end, outside of Chuck Clark, excuse me, it's a lot of the same pieces. Like
so
I don't know, like clearly, and as someone who obviously played, there sometimes can be a disconnect between player, coach, film, field. Clearly, the disconnect is either between player, coach, or film, field, field. Because it's not ability. Like Kyle Hamilton is objectively a top 2-3 safety in the game. Marlon Humphrey, when locked in, is a great cornerback. I think Nate Wiggins has a bright future in this league. But for whatever reason, like even Marcus Williams, their safety, who has had good years in the past, even he's struggling.
Yeah. For
whatever reason, them boys just not locked in. And if it continues to be this way, I think they'll have an early exit home in the playoffs.
Listen, you ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. So, I mean, we kind of spoke on Pitt and Ravens. I mean, you could put one over the other over the – it is what it is. Those are your 4 and 5 teams. I assume we have the same 3-2-1 team.
Who do you have 2?
I mean, I got the same 2. It's been that. Listen, I got Detroit at 2.
Okay, then me too. Okay.
All right, so then we said so Bills 3, Detroit 2, KC 1. I mean, let's you got the undefeated team. I don't want to go too into it. You got the number 1 team in KC. Everybody wants to say is luck on how Kansas City blocked that kick. But if you go back and you hear Dan Orlovsky speak and you start seeing, I couldn't believe my eyes how they pinpointed a number 54 and they just picked on him. They set him up like a chess piece and said, we'll leave you alone on the first rep. We're going to try you on the second. Are we coming after you on the third? And this is it. We got you. Here comes the block kick on 54. And every single lineup, he was lined up the same exact way. It looked like back, when you play high school ball, or not even high school, we'll go back to like Pop Warner ball. When they're just teaching these guys to line up, that's how this guy looked like. He was sitting down. And it didn't take much. It looked like he was sitting down. Fair, what are you doing? You're not doing a wall sit. You're not doing a wall sit, bro. They pushed his ass over, and he caused them to lose that game. That bum caused them to lose that game. Anyway, I digress, because that pissed me off. If that was somebody on the Bills and I saw that, bro, I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad, man. But anyway, it is what it is. So I got KC at 1, Detroit 2, Bills 3. Now, here's the big one between Detroit and Buffalo. 5 interceptions from Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Jared Goff. Does Jared Goff as a quarterback, does he like, if you're a defense, you're a defensive coordinator, does he scare you as like, yo, we got to watch out for him, man. He's so dangerous. Or are you like, treat him like every other quarterback, man? We're just going to try to get him off his spot and hopefully he doesn't. But do we have to still give him respect that he did take his team to a Super Bowl years ago and he was knocking on that door last year? Or is he still like, he don't scare me still?
I think if you were to like do some list or ranking of the quarterbacks across the NFL, I think he will be around like 11, 10, 12. Like I'm spitballing here. I don't know the exact 10 that could be ahead of him. But I think when he is clean, he is about as on time and on target as just about anyone else in the National Football League. I think that obviously dating back to his days with the Rams, when him and McVay were cooking, and then now with him and Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, when he is clean, there is no one else in football that can rip a a nice seam, or rip a
Yep.
over, or rip a post. Like, he is about as good in football on that. Having said that, how often do you play clean football, or how often are your situations around you that clean? And we saw last week on Sunday Night Football, for all the Texans' issues right now, and boy, they got like 70 of them on offense. They front four can get after it. Bills fans know that after all the running that Josh Allen was doing. And they had Jared Goff a little uncomfortable. So I think that when the Bills see them in a few weeks, if you can get him off his spot, get pressure in his face, I think that's where you can turn a guy who is probably 12, 13 into a guy who, I don't want to say throw 5 picks, because that
Right.
I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but who can cough the ball up.
You know, the disrespect that I don't like that, I mean, you don't know this, but Nate Peterman. I'm a fan of Nate Peterman. I've liked Nate Peterman from the start. I don't know why, but you know what it is? I liked his character. And when he came in, I was like, yo, I don't think Josh is ready yet. They're going to start Nate Peterman. I got dog walked by everybody. Are you an idiot? He's not going to start. Josh Allen's going to start. Nate Peterman ended up starting. Oh, boy, did that dog walk everybody else was talking ish, right? And then Nate Peterman turned into Nate Peterman. Sorry. And the reason I bring Nate Peterman's name up is because he threw those 5 picks in that first half against the Chargers. It's funny enough. Goff throwing 5 picks is insane to me, and they still won. And that's why the Texans are not in my top 10. Real talk, right? But Detroit should not be as scary as people want to make them seem, is what I'm alluding to. So the Bills, being number 3, are knocking on the door for taking that number 2 spot. And I think a lot has to do with who you play. So if Josh Allen goes out and beats the Kansas City Chiefs without Kincaid, Keon, Amari, let's just say those 3 don't play, and Josh still does it, bro, I think I might have to put them over top of, even maybe put them at number 1. Shoot. I mean, we're going to talk about it. We'll see. But I mean, let's let the play. Let's let the game. Let's let the game play out. Any notes that you want to share on those 3?
Nah, nothing in particular, to be quite frank. I know for the Bills, this is when the schedule came out in early May. This was the pocket of the schedule where you were like, all right, let's see how to shake out. By the way, Nate Peterman story real quick. Yeah. I can't talk about Nate Peterman. I played him at Syracuse. I can't speak on him. I played him at Syracuse my freshman year. And I wasn't on the field this game, so I'm not going to act like it was all me, but those is my brothers. It was the highest scoring game in FBS history in a regular season. It was 76-61. He only completed like 9 passes, but like they still scored 76 points. James Conner was looking like Adrian Peterson and shit. So I can't really speak on Nate Peterman. Shout out to homeboy. He got 76 on my dome. But
oh, he got you.
Yeah, he got me. Like, it wasn't like he looked unreal, but I mean, numbers don't. I mean, he got the numbers. Forget about it from my perspective. But no, I think those 3 are. It's not like to say they can't trip up and get got, but as of November 13th, I think those 3 teams are playing the best in football right now.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, listen, the Bills being 8-2, first time since 1993 is wild on its own. They just got to keep it up. I mean, most folks can say, well, who the heck do they play? I mean, listen, man, Cardinals are not a slouch team. I know we got them week 1. They were a different team then, but so were we. We were a different team then as well, right? Week 1, way back when. So I like it. We're just looking to see how now this changes up, because these next few games are going to tell you a lot about these Bills. So if I put you on the spot, just give me a record. The Bills face the Chiefs, and you don't have to even tell me. Chiefs, Niners, Rams, Lions. What's their record in those 4 games?
I'm going to give you, let's say they're going to split it. 2-2.
Okay. 2-2. You got to tell me who they lose to. 2-2 is still respectable. And
that's great for that. I mean, that's what, 2 teams that are in the top 2, and then
Chiefs,
the Niners are healthy.
Rams, Lions, man.
The Rams are healthy, and now and same with the 49ers now. So those are 4 good football teams.
Yeah, the NFL schedule makers, man. Yo, F y'all, man, because y'all really y'all really put us on some BS in the middle of the season near the end. Come on now, you crazy for that. But this is about to shape us, and we see what's going on. All right, before I let you go, bro, we're just gonna go through a couple storylines. You are the New York Giants GM. You got to make, excuse me, you're not the GM. You're the New York Giants owner. You got to make a decision with what you're going to do with your quarterback and what you're going to tell your people what you do with your quarterback. And what do you do with head coach and GM? Are you letting them go and starting afresh and rebuilding? Or are you holding on to these guys that just need a new quarterback? What do you do? Daniel Jones is not doing it.
I'll make it quick for you. For the quarterback position this year, I do think it is a bad tell for the locker room if you continue to roll Daniel Jones out there. Just try something. I don't know. Having been in a locker room, like, just optics matter. So, like, just try anything else. Owner perspective, I really don't like lame duck coach and GMs picking the next quarterback, but I do think this regime, at least Brian Daboll, deserves the grace to pick the next quarterback.
I would agree, but I mean, in a way, he essentially picked Daniel Jones. I mean,
he vouched to re-sign him. Yeah.
So you put your name on it. So you're the talent evaluator that you are is telling me that maybe we don't know.
Right.
You don't know. You didn't pick Josh Allen.
Right. I'm a big believer in that. The GM and coach should pick your guy. That's what when you look at what's going on in Chicago right now. That's what happens when you don't pick your guy. When we can go into it, but that's which is perfect because that brings me to the next one. Chicago Bears, right? Listen, they're talking about. Listen, my man Caleb is just looking like he's regressing. So what they do, they react and they fire the offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. Here's what Keenan Allen had to say. Hey man, I'm not surprised. He's just a nice guy. He was too nice. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in a relationship or have seen a friend in a relationship when they said, he's just too nice? I just can't deal with this. He's just too nice. Yeah. Not me personally, but
wait a minute, not me now.
Not Mr. Jones, but
right.
Yeah, I've seen that before, and it doesn't ever end well.
It never ends well. When anybody says he's too nice, bro, that's not good. When you're a leader of men, like that position, usually, I mean, that offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, one of y'all, if you do well enough, they're looking for you to lead men as a head coach. Bro, come on, man. Now, was he a scapegoat? And that's another thing too. If they use him as a scapegoat, is the bigger problem. You mean the whole head coach? Was it Eberflus? Is Eberflus the issue out there? I mean, Ryan Poles, he did everything he could as a GM to bring the talent to you. Roma Donze, Keenan Allen, like he gave you the weapons, bro. Now you gotta cook. You gotta cook, and you don't have this offense rolling, bro. I tell you right now, you put Brian Daboll in that. Brian Daboll's cooking with that offense, bro. He's cooking with those pieces. So, what a disaster that is. Here we go. Who's got a greater chance of making the playoffs between these teams here? Let me just open my thing up here. I was just looking at it. All right. So right now it's not looking good, but if you're looking at the AFC, I'm going to give you AFC and I'm going to give you NFC. So right now you got 3-7 Jets, you got 3-6 Miami, you got 4-6, and you got the 4-6 Colts and Bengals. Do the Miami Dolphins have a chance to squeak in and try to make this playoffs?
Do they have a chance? Yes. The schedule for the next 3 or 4 weeks is brutally soft. Very
Is
soft.
It though?
I mean, I think they got the Raiders and Patriots up in there. So
they do, and then they have the 49ers in there too.
So that's not great. But I think there's a chance. I don't think it's great. Like if I put a number in 5, 10% or whatever. Yeah. I think out of those 4 that have the best chance, because I think there is one spot left, because I believe you're going to get the loser of the Ravens Steelers taking one of the wild card spots. And then I think the Chargers will as well. I think the last spot will probably go to the Bengals. And I know, why do they deserve the benefit of the doubt? Their offense, I think, is so dang good. And it's just so electric.
Yep.
That I think they can eke out 9 wins. I think they can do it.
Damn. All right. You got some love for Miami. All right. 2 more things, and I'm going to let you get out of here. You got the Dallas Cowboys. McCarthy. Is he returning or are you firing him?
No, he can go.
He can go. Boom. Last one for me. Do you bring back Aaron Rodgers next year as a Jets quarterback?
They don't have a choice. Unless they want to trade up in the draft, by all means do that. But I think the financial repercussions for that are going to be too stiff. Because here's the thing with the Jets. It's either rebuild or bring them back. There's no like middle ground with that because you have so many young pieces that haven't been paid yet.
Yep.
It's not like you can like auction off guys and get picks for them. Like who are you trading to get picked? Like you're not trading Quinnen, you're not trading Sauce, you're not trading G-Dub or Brees.
Yep, you're right.
So they're in a spot that no one wants to be in.
Oh boy, you're right, man. You're right. It's a rough position to be in.
Like it's bad. Like it's a bad spot to be in.
It's a bad one, and you might have some choices. You got to bring him back. You got to run it back. They got so much talent on this team, and you're wondering what the heck going on. You knew that Robert Saleh was not the issue, so the issue, maybe it is Aaron Rodgers. Who knows?
I mean, he's not playing good. He's not, and I'm not saying this because I think he's some good quarterback.
Right.
I just don't know if you cut him, well, then now you're basically saying we have no chance to compete, and now you're wasting even more youth.
It's true. So you also got to hold on to him. Now a year older. I don't know, bro. That's rough. That's rough. Ladies and gentlemen, my guy, Carl Jones. Carl, I know you're going to be busy. You got the Bills media tomorrow, so we're going to be hitting you up. You might get a little side text from me saying, yo, give me the juice. What's happening? Talk to me. We hope to see Kincaid. Good news from Kincaid, but I doubt it's going to happen. So what we're hoping for is if we get Amari Cooper ready to play. I mean, he was catching the balls for the jugs, so it did look good. The real question is when you brace yourself when you fall, how's his wrist going to handle the contact and the weight coming down? So that's a lot, man. So other than that, anything else coming our way that we should know about that we should be keeping our eyes peeled for?
Obviously, check out my X feed tomorrow. I'll be at Bills practice telling y'all everything that's pertinent, like important information. And then Sunday, obviously, I'm a part of the Buffalo Kickoff Live stuff. If you're in the Buffalo area or any of the surrounding areas where you get Bills games on CBS, tune in for your boy at 11. That's where I'll be talking my stuff on CBS, nice. Giving all my nice takes and whatever, acting like I'm smart.
My man's coming up now, boy.
I'll be suited and booted, and that'll be that.
There we go, man. I appreciate you, man. Carl Jones, you're a real one, and we'll do this whole dance again next week, brother.
Yeah, let's go. Have a good one. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. That's my guy, Carl Jones, ready to go. So listen, folks, I want you guys to stick around because back to back, I'm jumping on a show with my guy Z-Bot right after this. But before I do go, I got to give a shout out to Mr. Fulton Mraz. I did not want to forget this. I saw this comment. I was not going to scoff over it. He says, hi, Rico. I'm having a rough time today. My old principal has passed away today. He was my old Hamilton Heights High School principal. His name is Mr. Mason. Keep me and my friends and family in prayers. Listen, man, I pray that God put strength for you and your family as you go through this tough time, man, because I know how it is. Some people cope very differently. And sometimes you need the good Lord on your side to help you get through this tough time. So I pray that each and every one of you guys that are affected by the death of Mr. Mason, that you guys, with time, God puts a little love in your heart and heals you. And with time, it's always with time that you're able to kind of get through these tough times. So I appreciate you giving that message so I can see that. Much love to you, man. Much love. So that being said, folks, I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. Listen, man, much love to everybody tuning in, man. I appreciate you guys showing some love. Stick around. Don't go too long. Hit that page because I'm going to hit back with my guy Z-Bot. He said, I want to talk Kansas City football. I can't. He's going to a wedding right now, so he can't do Fridays. So we're doing it tonight. So, folks, tune back in, and we're going to get this thing cracking. So until 2 minutes from now, I'm going to see you in a little bit. So catch you guys on the flip side.